Hello, everyone. This is Azrin here, coming to you with another soft skills training video. Today, I'd like to share a couple of stories with you, and then I'd like to share some learning points that I've derived from these stories. These are personal stories from my personal life, as well as from my business life. So when I was running a window cleaning franchise, one of the ways that I would find clients, is I would go door to door and I would sell window cleaning by going door to door. I have probably knocked on, I don't know how many thousands of doors in my lifetime. In addition, I've trained a lot of door-to-door marketers as well. And so I would go door to door with them as a part of the training process. So door-to-door marketing is something I did quite often when trying to grow that business. That was one thing I did. Now, another story, okay, a related story. When I first started my language teaching business, which is the Calgary Language Nerds, we teach different languages to 15, as I'm recording this now, there's 15 different languages to people of all ages, essentially. When I was first launching that business, I used a similar strategy. What I did was I would reach out to different groups, different organizations in a sense, and I would offer my teaching services for free. I would teach French and Spanish for free. For instance, I would reach out to university and college campus clubs, for example, French clubs, Spanish clubs. And I would say, hey, listen, I will offer anyone in your club who's interested five hours, so 5 lessons, 5 1-hour lessons for free, private, anyone that wants to, no strings attached. And so people would reach out, they'd say, wow, I have exams coming up, I want to learn this language, this, that, the other thing. And they would say, I want to take some classes. And they would take those 5 lessons for free. When the class is finished, I would say, hey, look, it was great working with you. I'd love to keep working with you if you're interested. Here's the prices, here's the rates. Would you be interested in continuing? And a percentage of the people that took the classes for free would continue taking classes. And then that was how I found a lot of my initial students. Third example, I have 2 more examples, one more business, one personal, and then I have a nice conclusion I'd like to draw for you. Third example, business example as well. I make a lot of content for my language business, my language teaching business. I make a lot of content, and literally I've made thousands upon thousands of pieces of content. I think I've made something like to date over 900 podcast episodes. I have made probably over 1,000 YouTube videos if I had to guess. I've made I don't know how many posts on Instagram. I don't know how many blog posts I've written. I've done guest interviews on other people's podcasts and YouTube channels, things of that nature. And so this is another way, it's another form of cold calling in a sense. Like when I was going door to door selling window cleaning, this content is another form of that because each piece of content might be seen by different people. You don't know who's going to see that piece of content. Last example, personal example this time around. I've shared in my previous video that I enjoy traveling. I've been to well over 120 cities across 5 different continents. And when I travel, well, I'm a little bit different than most people I know who travel. And the difference is this: most people travel for touristy sites, whether it's something like the Eiffel Tower in Paris or the Taj Mahal in India, Machu Picchu in Peru. Maybe it's something even off the beaten path, but it's still a place, maybe a building or a museum. In my case, I will go to those kinds of places. Of course, that is something I do, but for me, people are the tourist attractions. I'll say that again. People are the tourist attractions for me. I'm fascinated to meet people who live in a new country, new city, new province, new state, somewhere different that I'm not used to. And I want to talk to them. I want to talk to them about their thoughts and feelings about where they live. Mundane things like, where do you eat breakfast? What do you do in your free time? What do you do for work? How do you blow off steam? What do you think of living? What do you think of living here? Maybe more personal things as well, if they're open to sharing, right? What kinds of things are they really worried about? What kinds of things are they excited about in the future? Could be even personal things, because I'm curious to see is someone who lives on the other side of the world in Singapore. I'm literally going to Singapore tomorrow as I'm recording this. Tomorrow I'm flying out to Singapore. I'll be there for 5 days. Is someone in Singapore, are they the same as someone, well, not the same, but do they think the same way as someone, for example, who lives in Calgary, which is my hometown where I live? Are they similar? Are they different? I want to know where are they similar? Where are they different? So I go out of my way and I talk to people. I will strike up conversations with strangers and I will just start talking to them and trying to essentially befriend them. Because I truly enjoy it. I find it very, very meaningful. So I've told you 4 different stories. They're all similar. Hopefully you see at least some similarity between the 4 stories. And I'd like to draw some conclusions from it that hopefully are helpful for you in whatever line of work you are in or whatever business you may happen to run. So the first thing here that I would like to tell you, that the conclusion that I would like to draw is that volume, I believe that volume is important. That's something that it has been helpful for me, I think, anyway. I think it's been quite helpful for me across my different experiences running 2 separate businesses. Volume in terms of how many doors I knock on just to directly sell window cleaning, volume in terms of how much content I make for my language business, initially volume in terms of how many places I reach out to offer free teaching services to get those initial leads in the door, volume in terms of when I'm traveling, how many people do I talk to? How many people do I have deep, meaningful conversations with? So volume, I think, is something that think about where you work and think about if you can increase something you may want to consider is there a way for you to increase the volume of output? Increasing the volume of output is something you at least partially may want to consider. The second conclusion that I personally draw from these 4 stories, actually one of the stories really, to be honest with you, it's one story in particular, if I'll to be perfectly frank, which is a story around how I got my initial clients at the Calgary Language Nerds, my language business, my language teaching business, which is giving away my service, my teaching service, for free as a way to attract leads. People have said this before. I'm definitely not the first person to say this, of course, but it was very helpful for me. That was how I got my initial students, the initial clients in my business. So something to think about, if depending on the industry you work in, depending on what kind of business you run, maybe there's something there that you can pull from that story, and maybe there's a way you can incorporate that as a way to get more leads. In fact, as a fun fact, then I'll wrap this video up. When even now, when I'm trying to go for an extra push to get new students, for example, I want to grow the business in a 6-month window or something, and I want to increase it by like 10% in a 6-month window or whatever the goal is, right? I want to increase it by X amount. And what I do is I decide to give away more stuff for free. I'll say, hey, look, I'm going to teach this workshop for free. I'm going to offer these classes for free. I'm going to do this for free. I'm going to do this blog series for free. How much can I give away for free as a way to then generate more work? That's always possibly always, if not frequently, if it's not always frequently, the mentality I have when trying to drum up a whole bunch of new business. So I hope you found this video interesting. My website here is in the bottom, azarin.me. If you do want me to, if you want to hire me, or even not even hire me, to be honest, this is the great time to take advantage of me working for free, essentially. I'm starting this soft skills consulting business, and because it's brand new, you can take advantage of me doing more free work than perhaps I typically would. And so if you want me to do a free consultation for your business, or perhaps for your department, if you're a manager, something like that, about how I'd be able to help out, right? I'm happy to chat with you about your soft skills needs. Maybe it's training on sales. Maybe it's training on hiring practices. Maybe it's training on how to use new tools such as ChatGPT to increase efficiency at work. Maybe, who knows what it is, right? Maybe it's the onboarding process. Go to my website. If you just go to the website, particularly read my bio, that's a great place to go. You will see that I have a very varied, sounds funny to say that, but I have a wide variety of experience in business operations over the past 12.5 years. And my skill set is very varied, as funny as that might sound. Okay, so lots of things I'd be able to help out with, and I'm happy to come in and chat with you about it. And you'll probably get a much better deal with me right now because I'm newer in this business than you would in the future. So if you're seeing this, you're one of the few first people who are seeing this, take advantage, reach out. And yeah, we'll wrap this video up here. Thanks for watching. We'll chat later. Bye-bye.